Standoff continues at Wounded Knee, South Dakota.
On the Pine Ridge Reservation in 1973, the American Indian Movement seized control of Wounded Knee. Formed in Minneapolis in 1968, the goal of the organization was to compel the American government to live up to its treaty obligations with nearly 600 Indian nations.
When AIM came together, it was just like I guess you could call it a mass tribal scream. No, that's enough. We just can't go on like this. You know, we can't let you keep rigging our tribal elections. We can't let you keep desecrating our sacred grounds. We can't do any of this anymore. We can't let you stamp out our traditional life. For me, it wasn't as much of an awakening as it was what I think it was for a lot of my contemporary Native American friends, was a call. It was like a call out to finally somebody's trying to stop this. Finally somebody's trying to do something about this.
Relocated Indian people to the cities back in the 50s. And so they were just given a place to stay, given a job, and then turned loose, and that was it. So a lot of them were successful. So a lot of them weren't. A lot of them ended up in institutions. But as a whole, though, most of them got involved in the different Indian struggles.
This is one of 371 treaties ratified by the Congress of the United States, which make them the law of the land, equal to and on par with the Constitution, going to continue until the United States addresses itself to the treaty rights of Indian people.
That was such a threatening concept to the federal government, the idea that its own law would be enforced with regard to Indians, that it sent in essentially counterinsurgency specialists from the United States Army, from the Pentagon, the 82nd Airborne Division, and from Fort Bragg, and a number of counterintelligence specialists from the Federal Bureau of Investigation to mount what in their internal documents they refer to as a suppression of insurgents. They engaged in an exercise of counterinsurgency within the borders of the United States.
I understand they want Henry Kissinger out here. Do you think this is realistic? Do you think he'll come?
Why not? You know, I don't see why the North Vietnamese should take precedent over the American Indian people. You know, we've been fighting this war for 400 years, and if he can spare the time to go over there, he should be able to spare the time to come here.
But it would be correct to describe the current situation as an impasse.
If there's such a thing as an impasse on an impasse, then that's what we have.
Where's that car? Where's that car?
Apparently has a wounded party.
After 71 days, the siege of Wounded Knee was formally ended. 2 Indians had been killed and over a dozen wounded. But for the people of Pine Ridge, the worst was yet to come.
The FBI don't get them, the Oglalas will.
What do you mean?
Just what I said. We have our own way of punishing people that way.
Shooting on the reservation?
You said it.
Contra-type force on the Pine Ridge Reservation called Goon Squad. They called themselves that, the Guardians of the Oglala Nation.
The goons were equipped by the FBI with automatic weapons, armor-piercing ammunition, various explosive devices. They were provided with field intelligence and so on by the FBI to go out and neutralize, and that's the term they employed, members of the opposition.
On June 26, 1975, on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota, FBI agents Jack Kohler and Ronald Williams were shot to death at virtually point-blank range. Were you involved in that?
No. No, it was not.
You didn't pull the trigger?
No.
Were you there?
I was in the area, yes.
What appears to have happened is that they sent two agents, Jack Kohler and Ron Williams, onto the Jumping Bull property under a pretext of serving a warrant on a guy they knew wasn't there. There were about 30 Indians there instead of 8. The two agents got cut off from their expected reinforcements. They got killed.
I was quite aware that I wasn't going to receive a fair trial, and there was going to be manipulation, manufacturing of evidence, and that's precisely what they did.
During the trial, the government maintained the key piece of evidence was a shell casing from a rifle linked to Peltier that was found next to the agents' bodies. Proof, they said, he fired the fatal shots. In fact, this FBI teletype acknowledged that none of the shell casings found at the scene had been fired by Peltier's rifle.
Did the defense have access to that ballistics report?
No, it was hidden from them. It came long after the trial through a Freedom of Information Act suit which procured it.
Why do you believe you're here at Leavenworth Prison?
Someone had to pay for the murders of their agents.